They're not rejecting you as a person. They're not telling, I hate you, I hate your children, like, don't ever talk to me again. They're just not accepting your product or your sales value of what you're not providing enough value to them. So we talk about that all the time. They're not saying no to you. They don't know you. We help our clients identify if they have buyers. Okay, what are your buyers specifically looking for? Where are they going? We pride ourselves on our data and what we're able to pull for our agents. We can get them pretty much any list under the sun that they're trying to look for. But where we really step in is not only do we provide the data, but we coach them on what they should be doing.
We help them with their sphere of influence, whether it's curating content or outreach, or because I think the shortest distance between our agents and a paycheck is through their sphere or their relationship database.
Because so many people get it and they're overwhelmed. Have we done like an email blast to these people? Have we done a voicemail blast, a side broadcast announcing the open house after? Have we utilized our list to do a custom audience Facebook ad referring to the open house that you have coming up this weekend? Or then we help them make the calls around it.
You are listening to the number one real estate podcast in the world. We talk with real estate professionals all across North America about their wins, losses, lessons, and stories help you win in your local market today. My name is Cody from Sheridan Street. I'm joined with Vikram Deol of the Real Estate Sales Academy. Vikram, we have some pretty awesome guests with us today. We got two guests, which we generally we don't.
Guests, I know. I think it was the first.
And we were jamming in the green room about a bunch of cool stuff that they're doing in the San Diego market.
Do you know that this little magnet is from San Diego?
Is that the Boyda's Vita beer or the? Is that
the beer?
I think that's there's like a beer company that has that exact same symbol.
It's either a beer company or a taco company. I don't think it's a beer company. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, man. Well, what's good with you, Cody? Other than my
Things
magnet
good,
looking sexy.
Yeah, no complaints. You know, like we're here on a Good Friday in Medellin, Colombia, and after this podcast, I'm going to get a massage. So life is good.
The whole city shut down, dude. My
landlord's
like, my landlord over here is like, oh, I can't fix your internet and all this stuff because it's a festival week. I'm like, yeah, my internet's been down for 2 weeks, bro. I went to the Home Depot of Colombia and I figured it out. I got new routers and everything. I'm like, you're a dipshit, bro. He's like, I'll talk to you next week. And I'm like, then he tried to give me a lecture on how real estate works. And he told me that in Colombia, because most apartments are unfurnished that they rent, I should be grateful. And I'm like, do you know what a contract and negotiations are? He's like, it's gonna, Cody and I were talking, I'm gonna fucking punch him in the head. So anyways.
Landlords, we love them.
Yeah. What's good with you, Cody? Your diarrhea is gone for the week.
Yeah.
I know you had food poisoning.
Yeah. Food poisoning was brutal, man. When you get food poisoning, especially from sushi, it's not fun. Yeah. Put me out for.
Oh yeah. No.
Sushi food poisoning is not good. I don't recommend it.
It wasn't from a gas station or anything, was it?
Oh, no, it was a legit sushi spot. Like, and both me and my girlfriend got sick and put us out.
Well, I'm very happy that you did not invite me to that dinner. Yeah. I'm very excited. I'm glad I did not. Canadian accent I pick up there, Cody?
Yeah, I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian.
Put us out. Yeah. Cody's gonna apologize. Well, let's jam, you guys. Let's jam. So we got two cool guests on. They work in the title world in San Diego. They're actually referred to us, I believe, by one of my good clients, Wally Dolly and Associates out of San Diego. If you guys need a great agent there, he's a rock star. And what I'm excited to talk about is, you guys don't tune out yet. We're not going to talk about title and escrow. That's probably one of the most. I think I would find that to be one of the most boring. I'd have an internet issue and I'd be like, Cody, you're taking this one. But what we're going to talk about is, because they've been in the industry for collectively almost 30 years. And if you guys are watching the podcast on YouTube, you'll see that they're both like in good shape. They take care of themselves, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about morning routines, gratitude, a different change of pace, and why they feel that those things are so important and like what they're doing. So without further ado, we have Haylie Collier and Ryan Lipsey on the podcast. Welcome, you guys. What's happening, Vikram?
Welcome.
What's up, Cody?
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on today.
Don't worry
man.
about. You don't need to acknowledge Cody. He's from Canada. We've already established that. You can ignore him.
Canadians are some of my favorite people in the world.
Exactly. One of the nicest people in the world.
Yeah. My sister's in Canada right now, actually. She's in Toronto.
Toronto. The Canada won't let me in their country, so it is what it is.
So you had to go to Colombia.
Colombia's a better choice. We can get into that in another day. But so tell me a little. So we were talking in the green room, right? And we were jamming, and you guys have pretty structured. It's not a crazy, but it's a fairly structured daily rhythm of how you start your day. And I'm interested to know, how long have you been doing it? Why did you start doing it? And then the third question would be, what have you noticed about how you start your mornings after you started your routine versus prior? And you might not even remember because it's been so long.
Nice. You want to take it, Haylie? Ladies first?
Sure, I'll take it first. I think we really ratcheted down the morning routine during the pandemic, during COVID, when we kind of all had a little freak out moment, especially in the real estate space. People were like freaking out, like, what's going to happen? Is this the end of real estate? Which a lot of us didn't even know that was the trajectory of a huge takeoff time for a lot of us in real estate. So for that first week, it was kind of like, all right, you know what? We really need to get our minds right, because we know there's a lot of shit going on right now in the world. A lot of things we're seeing. You could turn on the news and you would think the world was ending. Like if you stepped outside, you were going to die. So we were like, you know what? We have to take this and we have to harness it, because we can't change that, right? Like we can't change what's going on around us. But what we can change is what we're doing. What are our activities? What are our actions? So we didn't sit there and drink a bottle of wine every day. We weren't drowning in our sorrows. It was like, no, we're going to fucking flip this and we're going to use this. So we really started ratcheting down, okay, what do we need to do in the morning? What are 3 things? And our 3 main focuses were move your mind, move your body, move your soul. And so for me, I know first thing in the morning, Ryan wakes up way before me. So I usually wake up at around 5 a.m. to a text from Ryan.
I got kids, man. It's my only plan.
He's on the 4:45 train, and I'm like, ooh, I'm not there yet.
She said way earlier. I thought you were going to say 3 o'clock. 4:45? That's not.
4:30. 4:30 lately.
I was going to say, it's not way earlier. It's about an hour.
In the same category. That's not too bad. I just have
to give him a little shit sometimes.
So you guys get up. So you guys are on the 5 a.m. train, though.
Yeah, I'm usually 5:30, 5:45. That's, and I naturally wake up at that time. I've always been a morning person. Even as a kid, I never, even in high school, never slept in until 10. If I slept in until 10, I was like, what the hell? The day is gone. So I've always been a pretty morning person. So we get in. I usually wake up to a text from Ryan that's really outside of the box gratitude. It's not the standard, I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that I put my feet on the ground. It's usually I'm grateful that I can take what's going on in the world, harness that, and use that to not use my emotions or not be able to get so reactionary anymore. He has some really thoughtful gratitude. So it gets me automatically, which I don't even know that he knows this, it automatically gets me into gratitude first thing in the morning. Because usually I see his text and I know it's going to be a gratitude thing. It's not hey, we need to jump on this, or this needs to get out for a client. It's always a gratitude thing. So that really helps get my mind right. Then I get to the gym. I was telling you, Vikram, I usually have a 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. workout class. I really enjoy that. It's very hard to think about anything else when you're lifting weights or you're trying to push yourself to something different.
It's hard to think about negative shit when you got a bunch of plates on your back and you're squatting and if your focus shifts, you're going to potentially get hurt.
Yeah,
exactly.
For
I
real.
think my front squat right now is at 165. So we're
deal.
doing good.
Probably better than my squat. That's good.
So, and then we go straight in, look at Ryan has all his books. I know he'll talk about his, but mine, I have the Daily Stoic right next to my bed. I have a journal next to my bed that
That's
I
a good
really
book.
try to get that. And, going on to your last question of how do you feel before your workout or before your morning routine and after?
Yeah, if you had to go pre-pandemic to, now you've been practicing this for 3.5, 4 years. What was what was life, what your mornings like before, and what are they now like? And
yeah, well, I'll even. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, no, and like how have you seen yourself shift because of it?
Oh, for sure. Well, I'll even take it a step further, like even to the day, because I can't stand when people say something. I do something every single day, because that's bullshit.
Nobody does
like
that.
You don't do something every single day. So even on the days where my morning routines, most days, but when we have something super early, or we have to be, we've had a couple days where we've had to be in LA by like 8 a.m, that really fucks with me, because I know I'm not going to get my full routine in, and I get grumpy, I get snappy, I get like, I didn't get all my anxiety out in the morning. So I'm like, if I don't have my full morning routine down, I have a little bit of angst, a little bit of like, like get this day going.
Yeah.
So I really don't even remember before having a morning routine. It was kind of just like, wake up, have my coffee, check some emails. Now I try to sweat before screen. Like I try to work out before I get on social media, before I check my emails. So it's like, that whole morning, there was no routine. There was, it was kind of just wake up and instantly jump into work.
The difference between sympathetic and parasympathetic, right? It's like you start the day on your
that
terms.
A little bit?
Yeah, well, your fight or flight is engaged in a sympathetic state, and your heart rate is lower, and you're more kind of relaxed in a parasympathetic state. And for me, the morning routine is all about entering the day on my terms, or at least giving myself a chance to have the best version of myself enter the day by moving my body, moving my mind, moving my spirit, right? And spirit, soul is weird. That just means go get in nature.
No, it's totally good. It's totally acceptable on this podcast.
Yeah. I didn't want to go all woo-woo.
Let's talk about it.
Nature. We do breath work, not to go too far down the rabbit hole. Mine's a lot like Haylie's. I do the stoic, I do comfortable with uncertainty with Pemacho drone, and then I journal. And then I do some deep breaths, and then I work out. And then, I'm in recovery. I usually go to a meeting, and I work my ass off on the Peloton because I got to shake it off, and then we enter the day. So I just really feel like it helps us process the angst in the brain, the body, and the, everything else. So, and enter the day on our terms, if you will.
It's really interesting to see.
In sales, we get shit thrown at us all day, right? I mean, you work, practice real estate, you make call, you have a full business, Cody. So it's like, we have to be able to have such a strong mind and to have that perspective when, I'm in an argument with something on like with another rep or something at the company. We have to be able to choke him,
put him in a chokehold, play with him, that bitch, get it, straight to the fuck you button. Oh, and without the routine, it's the fuck you button all day, right? But with the routine,
it's like instantly I'm coming for the jugular.
Count to 10. I know.
So
take a walk, count to 10.
I think Cody's internet's jumping in and out, but let's see if he can pop in.
So I'm curious because the two of you have a really interesting partnership, and I would love for you to kind of like break apart the partnership energy and kind of like how that plays into each other. Like, because like you said, like Ryan, every morning you send Haylie I don't
get a text message from you, Cody. I just want you to know.
I don't get a text message from you. I know. Unfortunately, how do you feel like the morning routine and the alignment with like that and the alignment with like beliefs and values has played into kind of the success of the business?
Well, gratitude specifically, I think it's the best way to frame the day is if I look at the shit that's good and it gives me evidence that shit will be good again in the future, some shit, right? So that is a form of faith for me. And I usually enter the day not with a sound spiritual condition or positivity at all. I usually end up opening my eyes and fucking shit's going crazy. What do I have to do? What didn't I do? Who's coming for me? All that fear-based thinking, right? So when I get grateful, it reshapes, reframes that. And I have a gratitude practice. I send it out to several people. Haylie's among them. And we usually exchange them back and forth. But it gets me out of me, right? It gets me out of the committee in my head, the amygdala sending me false information. And then it gets me into positivity. And it frames my day with some form of hope instead of fear. And it takes me out of fight or flight and puts me into, okay, I fucking got this. How about you, Hay?
Well, I always get a little emotional when we talk about Ryan and I, because he has been a best friend. He's not just a leader. He's one of the best leaders I've ever had the honor to witness. And the grateful I get to work with him. He's a best friend to me. He knows more about me than he knows I can call him with anything. And I always say I'm like his fifth child. He has 4 kids, and I'm always like, I'm the 5th kid. Like, I'm always here. And so he's really changed my life in a full, like, cause I was working in the title unit. I was kind of a, like, Links for the weekend kind of girl. Like, I was in the office at 8 a.m., out at sometimes 8 p.m. And I was like over it, like didn't have any routines, didn't know about spiritual. I would be like, somebody would be like Tony Robbins, and I'd be like, what the fuck is that? Like the guy from Shallow Hal, like that guy that's in the elevator. Like, what is this? So, I always get a little emotional just because of how grateful I am to have somebody like Ryan in my life who has been able to show me that peaks and valleys and ups and downs are a part of life, but we know we have each other. Like, like if I got shit going on, I'm calling him. I like have my freak out moments, and he always puts it in perspective, and vice versa. We really, really lean on each other. So we have more than just a business relationship. I feel like I'm part of his family. I'm really good friends with his wife. I know his kid. So it's like, it's not just a business relationship. It's we're family, and that's what we always say. Don't make me cry this morning.
I mean,
yeah.
If tears need to flow, tears need to flow. If they got to come, they got to come.
Yeah.
So you guys partnered up about 6-7 years ago, joined your businesses together. What were some of the hardships that you guys faced?
I'll let Ryan take this.
Oh, Ryan's camera.
Oh, man.
Ryan just blacked out. He's like, I'm here.
You see me again?
Yeah.
Low battery. Okay. I guess we're on a schedule. I think that there was a lot of hardships. Certainly there were challenges. There was acclimation for Haylie, going from being chained to a desk to being free to being a salesperson, to interfacing with people, doing prospecting. And I remember on day one, here's how I knew there wasn't going to be challenges, just learning. Is I gave her a sheet of agents, and I said, hey, on this team, we call agents. That's what we do. And I gave her a script. And on the second call, she's like, hey, can I just say it my way? And I'm like, absolutely. Trumped up the script, made a basket, and that was that. And so, she jumped right into lead gen, and it's cool because I pre-framed it. I can't. We do a little bit of it. So you're going to shadow me for 90 days. And if you're still around, congratulations, you have a job. And she just went with it. And it's like everything from sales to networking to late night meetings to early morning team lead meetings. It's just crazy. So she's still here 6.5 years later, and it's really a pleasure to do it with her. And we really put others before ourselves. We solve problems for the agents. We solve problems for our market that we work with. We are customer centric. We don't talk a lot about title, because title, we got that. We got a room full of people to do that. We talk about lead gen and lead conversion. That's the biggest 2 obstacles for our customers. So that's where we live. But problems, not a lot, just learning curves, things like that. But now I learn as much from her as she learned from me, and around we go. So it's a really cool process.
Well, let's switch gears here a little bit. How are you guys helping because you guys said you're doing a lot of stuff. So one of the things we haven't talked on this podcast, I don't think, is we've talked about how to, people talk about, you can get data from your title agents, but we never really dove deep into it. So what kind of information are you guys actually helping your agents with? Like my question is it's more around like, how do we really, how do we get our agents to utilize their partners better? So like, what data could I, as an agent, like what data could Wally come to you guys and say, hey, I have a listing. I want to circle dial. Could you guys help with that? Or could you guys help with expired data? Like what's the data you guys can help with?
We identify the different clusters within the general population that are higher likelihood sellers. We identify by, geo-farm, ideological farms, distress, so many different age groups or so many years in a property. I mean, we help them drill down what exactly they're after. Would you say, Haylie?
Yeah. And I would say too, like right now we're in this kind of environment in San Diego where really across the nation where we have 0 homes. I think we had like 3,000 homes in all of San Diego attached and detached to buy. that is nothing. Like 3,000 homes is nothing to be able to go to. We help our clients identify if they have buyers. Okay, what are your buyers specifically looking for? Where are they going? We help pull that data and help them go straight to those homeowners, and we give them scripting. So we help them go off market properties. We've had agents double in deals that way. And not only do we provide them with the data, because the data is great. We pride ourselves on our data and what we're able to pull for our agents. We can get them pretty much any list under the sun that they're trying to look for. But where we really step in is not only do we provide the data, but we coach them on what they should be doing with it. Because so many people get it and they're overwhelmed, but it's like, okay, have we done like an email blast to these people? Have we done a voicemail blast, a side broadcast, announcing the open house after? Have we utilized our list to do a custom audience Facebook ad referring to the open house that you have coming up this weekend? And then we help them make the calls around it, because we want to help our agents. Most salespeople in general, we're a little crazy. I think some of us on this call, because I'm like, give me that.
It's too bad that agents don't. Yeah, the reason why they don't do it, it's not because they don't want to. The reason why they say they don't want to, because I train agents all day long, and they go from hating the phone to loving the phone because they realize the speed of communication is so much faster, and the amount of people that they can get a hold of is so much better, but they just don't know what to say. They're scared. They have fear and anxiety, right? It's just call reluctance because of potential rejection, and they feel like that. Yeah, they've never been taught that that's not rejection of you. It's just your skills are shitty, and if you upgrade your skills, you'll still get rejection. You'll just get less of it. And it's not like these people are going to actually see you at the grocery store. Like if I call 100 people, I'm not going to see Cody at the grocery store, and Cody's going to recognize you. Oh, that's that idiot that called me on the phone, right? Like that's a rare case that would ever happen. And if it happens once at a blue moon and you sell 50 homes a year, I mean, I would take to be called an idiot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I think Ryan and I talk about that a lot. Like, they're not rejecting you as a person. They're not telling Ryan, I hate you, I hate your children, like, don't ever talk to me again. They're just not accepting your product or your sales value of what you're not providing enough value to them. So we talk about that all the time. They're not saying no to you. They don't know you. They're saying no to your value product, to what you're selling.
Right. Well, we've seen, and oftentimes they're just saying no to your lack of skills. If you get two people to call the same person, I have a belief that if Cody were to the same calls that the same leads that his agents say suck, if you give them to one of our clients, we're going to convert deals out of them. Mm-hmm. And when I tell them that, they don't like it. When I tell his clients, I'm like, it's not the leads, bro. Like, and we do call reviews. Like we do, oh God, thousands of call reviews a year now. And when we review these people's calls, and you hear, and it's typically nothing major. It's just little tidbits like, oh, they said this here. Why didn't you say that? They said this. Why didn't you say that? And so being able to help them with that is really powerful. What would you say is like the top source where your agents that are doing business, what's the top data source that you're providing for them? Is it circle dialing? Is it helping them niche down their avatar? Like, and then, cause I want people to be able to take this information and go and work with their title reps to better utilize them. So like, what would you say is like your top source for buyers and your top source for sellers to help people right now?
So we help them with their sphere of influence, whether it's curating content or outreach, or because I think the shortest distance between our agents and a paycheck is through their sphere or their relationship database.
I don't see Ryan on it. We don't see Ryan at all. I'm like, why is Haylie bouncing her head like she's listening to somebody talk?
We can't.
When I can't see Ryan at all. Well, we can't. We don't have him at all.
Take it, Haylie. So why don't I would just say
I'll know, because I know what he was gonna say.
I'm like, Haylie's like talking to somebody over here, but I don't hear anything coming out of her mouth. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I know.
Well, I know.
Hilarious.
I know exactly what he was gonna say. We share a brain, so I'll chime in on it. So we're really helping first, like he was saying, first and foremost, sphere of influence. We help them ratchet down a system for their sphere of influence. We have systems to help them with that data. But second, right now, we're really in this have to sell market. People are at these interest rates. There's no inventory. So why would somebody sell when they're in a 2.5 if they don't need to go to a 6% interest rate? So we're really focused on helping our agents identify distressed properties. So what does that mean? Notice of default, notice of trustee sales, bankruptcies, divorces are huge. Like 40% of our transactions right now are divorces. Probates are huge. Is Ryan back on? Do you guys see him? He jumped back on.
No.
I'm still a ghost. I'm still a ghost.
I hear you, Ryan. I'm with you right now. I hear you.
I'm like Yoda.
So that's really where we've been focusing, is helping our agents identify those kind of people that are in a huge life change, that are a have to sell, not a want to. So that's where we also help identify those. We really identify them in the Southern California region. We don't have a lot of pull when it comes to other states and stuff, but we have great data for that in the SoCal region. But we've helped our agents train them on how to go after them. We're not a big fan of calling and being like, hey, I see there's a divorce decree on your property. Pool boy and no pool. Like, that's so we have a
for some reason I feel like that's not going to go over very well.
It usually doesn't. It does not. So we have ways that we help our agents script those. We have awesome scripting for that to help them pierce through. And I think off of our data that we've pulled just this year, we've had like 13 listings come from it from some of our clients. So yeah, so it's really strong because those are the people that have to sell. And then we also, the circle prospecting, all that kind of data, definitely third on there. But right now we're just seeing the two of the hottest is fear and distress.
I love it. Where would people find you guys at, Haylie? If people wanted to connect with you, pick your brains a little bit, ask like what you guys are doing, how they could better utilize their title people, where can they find you?
Yeah, so we are very easily accessible. We have a Facebook team page where we also have Cody, who I think Brian and we did not mention yet on here, but she's amazing. She's our director of operations for everything for our team. So we have 3 people where we're always being resourced on Facebook. So you can find us there. That's going to be us. We don't have a bot, not there yet. We'll probably have one soon.
What's your Facebook page?
It's a Ryan Lipsey team. So super easy, just Ryan Lipsey team. Sorry, my AirPod fell out. And then we have both Ryan and I have our own Instagrams. Those are us. So you can reach out to us. If you type in our name on Google, our cell phones come up. That's our direct number. So we are very easy to be found.
I love it.
That's so good. Hey, Haylie, Ryan, thank you so much for
wherever Ryan is in the world.
Wherever Ryan is.
He's on the screen. I see him. He's in my ears. That's so funny because he's on my screen and I hear him. So
I don't know what happened. I don't know. Technical difficulties. We're ending the podcast today with technical difficulties. They know where to find you. And Haylie, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. And thanks for tuning into another episode of the Our Agent Podcast. We'll see you soon.